Sixth graders, we're going to talk about different types of sample surveys today. Surveys and samples. You know, a survey is a way of gathering information, and we have looked at ways of organizing the information already. Finding the mean, the median, the mode, the range of the information. Now, when you're taking a survey, you're trying to gather information about how people feel or what they think about a subject. In fact, today in Iowa, they are doing surveys. And they've been doing surveys for weeks and weeks in Iowa. Do you know what type of surveys they're doing? Yes. They're doing political surveys. And they're caucusing today. Caucusing is when people get together and they show their support for a certain candidate. The Democratic candidates and the Republican candidates are all in Iowa today, and they're trying to get support so that they can get delegates who will go to the convention on their behalf, okay? So, that's going on right now in Iowa. And when people are doing surveys, and when you look at surveys, these are the different types of surveys that they can do. One is called a random sample. Okay? A random sample means that people are randomly selected. Names are completely random. Randomly selected to take the survey. Alright? Now, what's the idea behind a random sample? Why would a group, one famous company here in the United States that does surveys is called Pew Research, P-E-W, Pew Research Company. They do surveys of all kinds of things. Why would they choose to do a random sample survey?
Because then it would be more varied.
Okay. So that would show that they're not able to select the people and manipulate the results, right? Yeah, yep. However, what could be an issue with random sample surveys? Emily?
You don't know if they're telling the truth.
Okay. Yep. What if you pick out people randomly and 9 of the 10 people you pick are women? Does that represent the population? But if you select randomly, that could happen, couldn't it? Right? Or if they're calling people on the phone to say, hello, who are you going to vote for? And Nate answers.
Hi.
Hi, I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I'm undecided. What if he doesn't tell them I'm not old enough? And they count his vote, right?
That was hilarious. Like a little kid was like, I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Yeah, right. But their vote doesn't count. They selected a person randomly, and that person is not even eligible to vote. So, sometimes pulling a name out of a hat may not be the best representation of the population. Okay? So, there is another type of survey. This one is called convenience sampling. Listen.
Guys.
Okay, so write this down, convenience sampling. The idea behind convenience sampling is that you get quick results, fast results. Alright, so that you have something to report. But they may or may not be accurate. How would you get a convenience sample survey? What would you do to get a convenience sample survey? Yes?
Like, let's say you're running out of time and it's convenient for you to just do something fast.
Okay, so you go to a place where you know there's going to be people and you start asking them, right? You just start asking them. Okay? So that's an example of a convenience sample, getting fast results. But there's another way, and that's called systematic sampling. All right? And that would be selecting people based on a prescribed pattern, a pattern that you've decided. You're going to maybe ask every 7th person. Or, yes?
Could you do like, ask 1 girl, 2 boys, 2 girls, 1 boy?
Good, yeah. So there's a pattern. 2 girls, 1 boy, and then 2 boys, and then 1 girl. Okay? Anytime you have a system or a set pattern that gets you results, that's called a systematic sample survey. Okay? Alex?
Are we gonna be doing the random sample for the like our school election, or is that which survey we'll be doing?
We'll be doing all 3 of these and see which one is the most accurate. Later on we'll be able to figure out which one is most accurate. Okay? So you'll be divided up into groups. A random sample group, convenience sample group, and a systematic sample group. And you'll be getting polling results and asking students who they're going to vote for our King of Grace election based on this way of polling. Okay? And then you're going to compile that information and put it into charts and into graphs, and we're going to analyze that information. Yes?
But the problem with that is a lot of students don't actually tell the truth.
Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah.
when I asked, I just like, I told them.
Why would you do that?
Usually, I don't know.
Well, how do you
There's no
not
way
know-
to predict whether or not they're actually telling the truth or not. Okay? Yep. All right. So there are some things to watch out for when you're doing sample surveys. All right. Now, one of those things is bias. In other words, trying to manipulate the results in order to accomplish something. Okay? So, for example, in random sampling, it may or not be a sample that represents the group. We talked about that. Okay? You want to make sure that everyone has an equal chance to be selected. In convenience sampling, you're choosing people based on how available they are, but you may or may not be a sample that represents the group. And we talked about both of these may or may not be a way that represents the group. Okay? Systematic sampling, choosing people based on a pattern to get the results. You can get results that represent everyone in the group. It can be very accurate, but it may take much longer, and you may not have as much time to figure out if that is the best representation. Okay? Any questions on that? So, for today's assignment, you're going to read these situations and tell which sample would be the best way to gain the results. Go to page 209. Let's look at number 1. It says Anita wants to know if 6th grade students prefer using email or text messaging. So, she plans to take a survey. She needs the results quickly. Which sampling method should she use? Now, let's say that there is several 6th grades in the school district. So she's going to ask the whole school district of all the 6th graders, and she needs the results quickly. Which type of sample should she use? Convenience sampling, definitely. Yep. Now, what if she wanted to know the results of just our 6th grade? There's one that isn't in our list, and there's one that refers to the idea of just asking everybody. Do you know what that is? No, it's actually just surveying the population, asking everybody. Okay, that's called survey the population, and that's an answer to some of these. Okay, when it's possible, you should ask everyone their opinion. That way you get the most accurate results, right? If you ask everybody, you know what's going to happen. Okay? That's not really a sample survey. That's just surveying the entire population. And if you have a group of 20 or so people, then that's what you should do. All right? So, read through these and pick the best method of surveying to answer these questions, all right? So do 1 through 14 for tomorrow. 1 through 14.